Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. And what can I say, in the Meghan and the Harry camp there has been pure drama. Buckingham Palace has actually chimed in on this one and they are under fire again. So what has happened is basically Meghan and Harry made it to US television and they shared their personal thoughts, feelings and opinions on the upcoming US presidential election. Now, I heard about this earlier and I read a little bit about it in between what I was doing, and I personally felt as though they was taking a low-down dig at bloggers like myself and people who have been expressing their personal opinions online regarding what they have done, what they have been doing and what they are currently doing in the USA and how they left the UK. That's how I personally read it. Now, other people feel that they are now attacking the current US President Trump. And we know that Meghan Markle has made it no secret that she does not like Trump. She finds him to be misogynistic and pretty much a downright revolting character. That's her thoughts and feelings. She obviously, as an ex-member of the royal family, or should I say an ex-senior member of the royal family, still is under some kind of oath, to a certain degree, to keep her personal thoughts and feelings to herself. We know that their one-year review will be getting looked at in the coming March, next March in 2021, to see whether they have actually stuck to the agreement that they made with the Queen and the rest of the royal family to still act in a royal formal capacity, even though they are not senior members, to still respect the codes of conduct. Now, everyone sees this as a major faux pas and a breach. I personally feel that the speech was an unnecessary one. I think that they really are walking a fine line here, but I don't think they've done it successfully. I think this is a big blunder on Meghan and Harry because we know that they're already in hot water as it stands anyway, with the way they left, with this Netflix deal that they've signed, with the biography, the Finding Freedom biography, which they are now trying to desperately disassociate themselves from as much as possible. It's now being brought into the legal case that Meghan Markle has out against the Associated Press, the British Associated Press. They're using it in their defense to justify why they felt as though it was public information to share some extracts of Thomas Markle's letter that he received from Meghan in 2018, wasn't it? So she's got a lot of things that are already against her, along with not being liked very much. So this is an article by the Daily Mail, and this article has blown up. It's got 22,000 shares, 11,000 comments. People are pretty much triggered, but we've been triggered from the moment Meghan and Harry became an item, and that's not just because Meghan Markle happens to be a woman of colour. So the article I'm going to get into is titled "They're No Longer Working Members of the Royal Family, Buckingham Palace's Stinging Response as it washes hands of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's impartiality row after couple effectively told Americans to vote out Trump." So it's been, they basically did imply that during their speech, and people have been up in arms about it. A very vocal journalist, Piers Morgan, has been up in arms about it, and he's actually said that they definitely need to get their title stripped due to the Netflix deal and now this, because they're being so vocal on US politics and having a political stance, which is something that they really cannot do. I don't know why Meghan and Harry love to make so many blunders, but I feel as though it's kind of like the extra naughty child that only seems to get attention when it's being bad. So it therefore has to go out and do more and more bad things in order to get your attention. That seems to be their marketing plan. We're going to really step on everyone's toes. We're going to break the rules and it's going to cause a ruckus and everyone's going to look at us again. They rarely do make the news nowadays, especially in the UK, but they actually made the evening news today, which was quite surprising because it was been so refreshing to not see them on my telly for quite a while now. So I'm going to get into it. Buckingham Palace has washed its hands of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after they told Americans to vote out Trump. A spokesman said it refused to comment on not a working member of the royal family in a stinging response to the couple. It comes after royal insiders said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex crossed a line by speaking out about the US election on November 3rd. Prince Harry told voters to reject hate speech, while Meghan called the presidential race the most important election of our time. Speaking in a Time 100 video message apparently filmed from their California home, and their black Labrador made a feature appearance in this video, which is very contrived. They was trying to give off this casual, organic type of vibe, but their clothes were completely out of sync with that rundown little bench that they were sitting on. It just didn't really marry well. Harry clearly has not had any new hair extensions put in because he's still got the thinning hair at the back of his head. It could have been, it looks actually like it was filmed prior to his appearance that he made the other day, talking about the charity work and the trial walk that he was talking about. I wasn't a fan of what Meghan was wearing today. I generally do like what she wears. I didn't like the hairstyle. I didn't like the 3/4 leg crop trouser thing, whatever she was wearing. Didn't like it. It didn't suit her. The colours were off. I feel as though they could have worn, but that's by the by anyway. I didn't like their styling in this. They generally do have a well turned out look. Well, Harry doesn't always, but Meghan generally does have a nice well turned out look. But today she looks very drab and boring, and it wasn't working. So I'm going to carry on. Harry admitted he was not eligible to vote, adding that he had never voted in the UK either, where convention dictates that royals keep clear of politics. While Harry and Meghan did not name their favoured candidate, many viewers thought it obvious they were backing Joe Biden over Donald Trump, although a source close to Harry denied this. A Buckingham Palace spokesman said, "We would not comment. The Duke is not a working member of the royal family, and any comments he makes are made in a personal capacity." So they're completely washing their hands of them. It goes on to say, royal experts told Mail Online the couple should give up their titles and sever their links to the monarchy for good if they wanted to comment on US politics, while insiders told the Times Palace aides would be concerned about their intervention. Mail Online editor-at-large Piers Morgan said, Prince Harry poking his woke nose into the US election and effectively telling Americans to vote against President Trump is completely unacceptable behaviour for a member of the royal family. Former Liberal Democrat MP Norman Baker, the author of the book And What Do You Do? What the royal family don't want you to know, said Harry should not speak out about US politics while he is still a representative of the UK. Well, I think that Harry has made it clear that he doesn't want anything to do with the UK. He doesn't respect the UK, he doesn't respect the British taxpayer or anyone British really. He doesn't even respect his family. He's not even living here. So he's gone over to be American, which he can never fully be because, he's as British as they get. But he's decided to stand on the American side of the world and live an American life. And he's breaking with convention. I think that this is all PR, but you can see where now they have this Netflix deal, it's just gun-ho blazing. The MP went on to say, Norman Baker, I think it's appropriate for any private citizen to comment on the US election. The problem is that Harry has retained his HRH status and is not a private citizen, but still a representative of this country. Mr. Baker told the Mail Online he needs to stop trying to have a foot in both camps, royal when it suits him and private when it doesn't. And that is true because there's a big contradiction there, because in the actual video clip they introduced them as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So they did use their royal title, their formal ranking to introduce them. So they do want that, and they would have okayed that and reviewed that, because we know that their contract with the Harry Walker PR agency is very explicit about what exactly is required of them, down to the technology and who they will be working with. So they would have definitely gone over this with a fine-tooth comb to ensure that everything was as they intended it to be. They definitely would have intended for themselves to be introduced as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So it carries on to say, royal biographer Robert Jobson told Mail Online it may be easier for Meghan and Harry to give up their royal titles altogether given the business and political agenda they appear to want to pursue. And they definitely do want to pursue politics, so it seems as though they should just give it up. And I think they shouldn't humiliate themselves. I think they should actually just say, do you know what, guys? We're in Hollywood now. We're going to sign these Netflix deals. We don't want to be royal in any way, shape or form. Why would you go down this long, dragged out path? They're literally, squeezing out every drop of juice of this royal status that they possibly can. But they stopped being linked to the royal family or involved with the royal family an extremely long time ago. Let's face it, they haven't really fulfilled any real duties since Meghan gave birth. That's just the truth of it. Baby Archie is going to be 2 next year. But since he was born, she just completely dropped the ball. They both dropped the ball. So they really need to let go. I'm going to probably make this a part 2 because it just goes on and on and on. So I'll be back with part 2, guys.